Last week I made a video talking about what DLCs for Shogun 2 are a must-have and which can be ignored. In that video I shortly spoke about Follow the Samurai not being a DLC but a standalone game, and thus has some DLC of its own. In this video I'm going to tell you which of those are worth buying. Hi, my name is MrSmartDonkey and welcome to my Follow the Samurai DLC overview. To be honest with you, I don't really think this video is necessary, as there are far fewer DLCs for Follow the Samurai than there are for Shogun 2, and they are a lot less confusing too. But as many of you enjoyed last week's video, and people do frequently ask me why I have more clans available than them, I figured I'd make it anyway. So just like in the last video, let's start with the same DLC, the Blood Pact DLC. If you did watch the previous video, you'll know exactly what this DLC does, as it adds the same exact things as in the Shogun 2 Blood Pack. But in case you missed that video, or are somehow disinterested in it yet decided to watch this one instead, the Blood Pact DLC adds blood to the game in several forms. Blood squirts, blood splatter on the camera, new bloody sounds, and other things such as decapitation and limb severing. One thing that's important to note with this DLC is that if you already own the Blood Pact DLC for Shogun 2, you don't need to buy this one anymore, as it will work for both Shogun 2 as well as Follow the Samurai. Similarly, if you don't own the Shogun 2 Blood Pact DLC yet and you decide to buy this one, you won't need to buy it again for Shogun 2. As I said in the other video, it's pretty subjective whether this DLC is worth it to you. Personally, I see the blood as a visual representation of how well things are going, and for that reason I wouldn't want to play without it anymore. But you might not like blood at all, and thus wouldn't want to pay money for it either. Let's move on to the faction packs. These are going to take up the remainder of the video, as there is no DLC other than the Blood Pack and faction packs for Follow the Samurai. First up is the Saga faction pack DLC. This adds the Saga clan for use in a campaign and custom battles. This unfortunately is the only thing this or any of the other faction packs add, a somewhat bland new faction. None of the faction packs add anything beyond it, and none of the factions unfortunately get any new units or anything either. It's just a new starting position and some new traits, which is a real letdown, especially compared to the Shogun 2 clan packs, which usually added several unique units, historical battles and more. Anyway, the Saga are an artillery based clan. They start off with a paired gun already recruited, which at least makes them unique in that regard. Because of the sheer lack of content, I would say that the Saga faction pack is not a must-have, but I would still recommend getting it if you're looking for a new challenge. If you'd like to know more about the Saga clan and Follow the Samurai, I would recommend having a look at my Saga clan overview, link in the description. Next up is the Obama faction pack DLC, which add the Obama clan for use in campaign and custom battles. As I stated previously, this unfortunately is all this DLC adds. No unique units, no historical battles, avatar conquest gear, nothing. What it does add, however, is endless jokes from YouTube commenters about a former US president, so that's something I suppose. Seriously though, the Obama are overseers, and focus on making dollar bills y'all. They also start very close to the Imperial clans while being Shogunate themselves, which makes for an interesting start to their campaign. Other than that though, they're another rather bland addition to the Follow the Samurai clan roster, and I would again not call them a must-have, but also recommend them if you've played all other clans to death already. If you'd like to know more about the Obama clan and Follow the Samurai, I would again recommend having a look at the Obama clan overview, link in the description. The next DLC on the list is the Tatsu faction pack DLC, which adds the Tatsu as a playable clan in campaign and custom battles. I feel like I'm repeating myself a bit here, but this once again adds nothing other than the clan, no unique units or anything. The Tatsu are very reminiscent of the Hattori, as they start in the same province and both are ninja focused. Since they start in the Iga province, they, similar to the Obama, start very close to their potential enemies, as they are an Imperial clan, starting out very close to the Shogunate clans. The same verdict as with the other faction packs will be given here too. The Tatsu faction pack is by no means must-have, but do offer a new interesting challenge in case you're looking for one. The Tatsu is one of the two clans of which I have not done a clan overview yet, but it's coming, so keep an eye out for that. That brings us to the final faction pack and coincidentally the final DLC on this list, the Sendai faction pack DLC, which, you guessed it, adds the Sendai clan for use in a campaign and custom battles, and as with the other factions add nothing more in terms of units, historical battles or whatever else I said before. The Sendai are expert negotiators and thus have increased happiness in their towns and better diplomatic relations. They're yet another rather bland addition to the Follow the Samurai clan roster and gets the same verdict I've given 3 times now. Not a must-have DLC, but still worth purchasing if you need a new challenge. Which also means there is not a single DLC on this list that I have called must-have, which is a complete turnaround from the Shogun 2 DLC, where almost every DLC was. Again, I'd like to add that if you want to know more about the Sendai, I'd recommend watching my Sendai clan overview, link in the description. Before I close out this video, I wanted to recommend to you fine folk that if you're thinking of purchasing the DLC on this list, then either wait for a Steam sale, which usually sees Total War DLC getting a 75% discount, or alternatively use the store I am affiliated with, 2Game. They might not be able to do 75% off, but their prices are certainly better than normal Steam prices, while being a completely legit retailer condoned by Saga, the publishers of the Total War franchise. Use the code SmartDonkey for an additional 10% off, link once again in the description. That's gonna do it for the Fall of the Samurai DLC overview. I hope this has helped you in making some wise purchasing decisions. If you like Shogun 2 as much as I do, you might want to check out my Shogun themed merchandise. Or maybe you could support me on Patreon with some of that money I just saved you. Check out the links in the description. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. Have a good day and goodbye.